gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Again. Spinning wheel kick, heel to the jaw, and look at Terry Adams goes completely unconscious. That is a again on the bike. Out cold.
Alvarez getting loose, getting better here in this round.
Oh man, chill back. Oh, he's done. He's done.
Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. I am a fight fan through and through. The thrill of competition where people enter an arena and through years of dedication to their craft, they produce some of the most glorious feats in combat sports. Today, we talk fan favorites. Yes, fan favorites. We're looking at a subject that is so subjective and putting numbers to it. I want to give people insight on who the public votes as the true fan favorite fighter. First off, I want to thank Rummy's Corner for being an inspiration for the video. Make sure to follow his channel if you love boxing. He's a great channel and he does a lot of deep dives and bios on some great boxers. Make sure to tune in with him. So yeah, this is a result of months of data collection and survey analysis. Yeah. Back in December, I asked a bunch of MMA enthusiasts, fans, and historians of various backgrounds to give me their top 20 favorite fighters. And needless to say, I am so appreciative of this community. Special thanks to the 25 participants of the survey. Special shoutouts to you all. Each participant filed their own top 20 MMA fighters and ranked them from 1 to 20. 1 being their favorite and 20 being their 20th favorite. These are all favorites, people. Asking MMA fans for a top 20 is hard. Shit's black and white and can change over time, so good stuff for this. Anyone that's a pro, retired, or active as an MMA fighter of any promotion is fair game, and boy, did y'all drop some names. 218 to be precise. Each fighter was ranked and assigned points. And your number one fighter obviously gets the most amount of points possible because they're your fan favorite. You're a fan. They're your favorite. You get the most points. Duh. Yeah, and in the event of a tie, the tiebreaker goes to the most mentions, and then the most first place finishes. Then the average, until we have a placement. In the business, this is what we call foreshadowing. And yeah, I know I said top 25 with the title, but with all this participation, I decided to expand to the top 30, because, ladies and gentlemen, we have 14,625 points allocated across the board for this survey. So yeah, top 30. It's my video. I make my own rules. I capoeira that shit. For those of you who aren't apt to reading records and stuff, let's break it down. Honestly, this seemed confusing at first, seeking numbers in this sequence, but honestly, these numbers make the weirdest looking bust measurements. But yeah, here's the explanation of what it means. Yeah, I'll go through each place, give a brief description of each fighter, including accomplishments and fighting style. That way, if you want to give a deep dive of being a fan of any of these guys, you can easily find them. Simple. Does that make sense? Yes? Good. On we go! Number 30 fan favorite fighter is Ruthless, Robbie Lawler. The former UFC welterweight champion whose dangerous striking has been seen in Pride, the IFL, Elite XC, and Strikeforce. Lawler scored 150 points and made the top 30 with his highly regarded number of mentions. Number 29, Gegard the Dreamcatcher Mousasi. The two-time Bellator middleweight champion, UFC veteran and former Dream and Strikeforce champion, fought in middleweight and heavyweight, most often undersized and still grappled against Fedor. Number 28, Dustin the Diamond Poirier. The former UFC interim lightweight champion whose slick boxing and underrated ground game earned him 7 Fight of the Night bonuses and his own hot sauce brand and philanthropic organization, the Good Fight Foundation. Number 27, Igor Ice Cold Volchanchin, an explosive heavyweight striker who often fought undersized and became one of the biggest mainstays in Pride Heavyweight Championships, including being the 2000 Openweight Grand Prix runner-up. Number 28, Chris the Crippler Lieben. This Ultimate Fighter Season 1 alum is a striker who is known for having one of the best zombie modes in the game. Just when you think you have this guy out, BAM! You're on your back looking at the roof of the arena. Who brought a hammer in the ring? Number 25, Yoel, the Soldier of God, Romero. Former 4-time UFC middleweight challenger whose Olympic pedigree wrestling is dangerous as his overhand right. He has a long-time boogeyman of the division, and he's in Bellator now, fighting at light heavyweight. Number 24, Colby Chaos Covington. This wrestler will do his best to set you up with his striking in order to take you down into deep waters with his wrestling. A former interim welterweight champion who uses his conservative heel persona to mentally disturb his opponents. Number 23, Donald Cowboy Cerrone. From BMF Ranch, this slick striker uses devastating clinch abilities to pick you apart standing, and just when you think you're safe with some panic wrestling, he also is a black belt and can break whatever you got. Don't get on his bad side, because angry Cerrone is a thing, and feeling his wrath will get you leg kicked from guard. Number 22, Vicente Luque. The silent assassin comes in with a huge finish rate and a fitting nickname. Honestly, haven't watched a boring fight with this guy, and he always gives it his all, regardless of win or loss. If his striking doesn't work, he always believes in the Trinity. Always in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Darce. Number 21, Chuck the Iceman Liddell. The UFC Hall of Famer, former light heavyweight champion, MMA pioneer, and the face of the UFC after the Dark Ages. Known for his sprawl and brawl style that can put the lights out on any fighter. Number 20, Mirko Krokop Filipovic. The Krokop stands for Croatian Anti-Terrorism Squadron Commander. Seriously, that's that guy's day job. Right leg hospital, left leg cemetery. That's what they say about his kicks. And with those kicks, Krokop won 3 Grand Prix tournaments in his career. You know what that means? Multiple fights in a night, people. And he did that 3 times in 10 years. Number 19, Mark the Super Samoan Hunt, the king of the walkaway KO. Don't let his record fool you. Mark Hunt is one of the best to ever do it. And after his Pride days, his career made a renaissance in the UFC. Hashtag rally for Mark Hunt. Controlled chaos. That's honestly what you get. I mean, what other fighter do you get the atomic butt drop? Number 18, Peter Yan. Hey kid, you like sweeps? You like technical boxing mixed with that Russian sambo? You get that with Yan and then some. He became a force at the UFC bantamweight division, including becoming champion in 2020. And then, nothing else happened. Number 17, Basa Wapo Rutan. The 3-time king of Pancrase and UFC champion came in with amazing striking and grappling. Oh yeah, you ever wanted to see someone get subbed via a crunch? Yeah, he did that. You can't hit someone with a closed fist? Well, give me my money! Bas Rutan has caused more liver damage than alcoholism. Number 16, Khabib Nurmagomedov. The undefeated lightweight champion smashing machine. They say that humans can drown in 6 inches of water, but Khabib shows that you don't need water to drown. Number 15, Thug Rose Namajunas. Yeah, the 2-time strawweight champion in Tuffalome has really grown in the UFC. Her earlier career defeats in Tough, Thug Rose has actually evolved in numerous ways in both fight IQ and her mentality and striking. Made her an all-around force and upset a lot of favorites on the betting lines. Number 14, Michael the Count Bisping. Tough Season 3 winner, 2-time Tough coach, and UFC middleweight champion. And he did it at the end of his career with one eye. Left Hook Larry was inducted in the UFC Hall of Fame in 2019, and he's enjoying his retirement podcasting and commentating UFC events. Number 13, Stipe Miocic. Stone Cold Stipe was the former 2-time UFC heavyweight champion and still holds the record for the most successful defenses in UFC heavyweight history. And he does so without quitting his day job of being a firefighter in Ohio. Number 12, the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit. WEC welterweight champion and UFC interim welterweight champion, where his namesake is reflected in his finish rate. And he could do it anywhere, on the ground and standing. He recently retired last year, and good for you, Condit, you earned it. Number 11, the notorious Conor McGregor, the pay-per-view and trash talk king of MMA. This Irish car bomb packs a mean left hand. He's the first UFC champion to hold simultaneous championships in the featherweight and lightweight division, and is the only UFC fighter to be allowed to box outside of the UFC. Number 10, Mauricio Shogun Hua. Pride middleweight Grand Prix winner and UFC light heavyweight champion is from the Shooto Box Academy. And because of this, you get some of the greatest violence you will ever see in the Pride ring and UFC octagon. This guy was shaped by iron, and it shows. Number 9, Max Blessed Holloway. The former UFC featherweight champion is known for having some of the best paces, striking, ring IQs, and personalities in the game. You know, when Max comes in the cage, you get a man that goes out for broke, even when it comes to outside his division. He almost went on less than 2 weeks' notice to face Khabib Nurmagomedov for the lightweight title, just because the headliner needed saving. Number 8, Robert Whittaker. Bobby Knuckles is the former UFC middleweight champion and tough welterweight smashies winner. Recently rejuvenated in 2014 when he decided to move up to middleweight, and then he's been at the top of the division since. The Reaper has been awarded Fight of the Night honors 5 times and Performance of the Night 3 times. Number 7, the last emperor, Fedor Emelianenko. The former Pride heavyweight champion, Grand Prix winner, and holder of one of the most impressive winning streaks in heavyweight history. Seriously, try being undefeated for 9 years while beating former UFC champions and going 31-1 with that one coming from a cut, and that's all done with doing a Terminator-like face. Number 6, Anderson the Spider Silva, former UFC middleweight champion, and this was the guy for a while. 2,457 days long a while, which included 10 title defenses. Yeah, that's right. That's him facing DC Daniel Cormier. It works out that way sometimes. Don't ask, but yeah. Thanks, John Jones. Number 5, George Rush St. Pierre. Yes. You remember when I said earlier where there would be a tiebreaker? Well, here you go. Yeah, a lot of people's gold standard for MMA. He came in, was well-rounded, cleaned out his division at welterweight, avenged his losses, came back after 4 years in retirement to win another belt in another division? A great wrestler with great submission skills, great striking? Alright, now we get intense. This is the top 4, aka also the 400 Club. You gotta be really special to get on this. These are the people that are highly regarded fan favorites. Almost 14% of all points were allocated to them. And much like a scarecrow, they're all outstanding in their field. Number 4, Kazushi Sakuraba. The Gracie Hunter is the face of Japanese MMA. I don't care what anybody says. If I told you that this guy is a pro wrestler and actually fights, and you respond with, well, CM Punk lost and Brock Lesnar was huge. No. Not only can Sakuraba fight, he fights like he's in Tekken, and much like Tekken, weight classes mean nothing for Sakuraba, because he fights everyone, and anyone. Number 3, Charles Du Bronx Oliveira. Charlie Olives is the UFC lightweight champion and the holder of the most finishes and post-fight finishes in UFC history. So, by UFC standards, he got paid the most bonuses for being the best. Crazy, and they used to call this guy a quitter, and no one's laughing now, are they? Number 2, Tony Ferguson. El Kukui was the lightweight boogeyman of the UFC. Ferguson fought everyone he possibly could on his way to get to the title. He earned his spot to get to the number 1 contendership, and instead of waiting, he defended that status. And if you want a risk taker, why not a guy who trains by kicking pipes? And if you notice the star by the number of lists, you see that Ferguson is actually mentioned on the most lists with 11. And with that, he actually got second place position with 539 points. So, who is possibly in first place? Who is MMA's fan favorite?
Is that a gram? New card. What do you think?
Whoa, very nice. Look at that.
Picked them up from the printers yesterday.
Good coloring.
That's bone. And the lettering is something called Cillian Braille.
It's very cool,
Connor.
but that's nothing. Look at this. That is really nice. Eggshell with Romalian type. What do you think? Nice. Jesus. That is really super. How did
Canada fella.
like you get so tasteful?
I can't believe that Tony prefers
GSPs.
this card to mine.
But wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. Raised lettering. Pale nimbus. White.
Impressive. Very nice. Let's see
Jose Aldo.
Joe's card. Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my god. It even has a watermark.
Something wrong?
Connor.
You're sweating.
Number 1, the King of Rio, Jose Aldo Jr. is the former WEC and UFC featherweight champion. He is known for his fierce striking, which led him to defend his championship a record number of 7 times. But since losing that championship, he has made a career resurgence at the 135-pound weight division. And at 35 years old, it seems like we still have more to see from Scarface. I'll tell you what. Yeah, people love Jose Aldo. His average score was one of the highest across the board with 61 points on average. And you know what's crazier? That stat I threw out earlier about the top 4 having 14% of that total score? Well, 4 out of that 14% was just Jose Aldo. Crazy stuff. So that's our top 30. Absolutely interesting stuff across the board. Respect to all the fighters mentioned. Each bring their own style and personality to the fight game, and honestly, this is a damn interesting list of fighters that surprised me in my expectations who is on this list. Speaking of which, let's analyze the data and answer the question, what does it take to be a fan favorite? Well, be active, fight in the UFC, don't be afraid to fight in other promotions. Looks like 33% fought in Pride FC, and Boss Rutan commentated for them regularly at least. Be a champion, participate in the Ultimate Fighter in some way. Be a man, ooh. But let's show some love for Rose Namajunas. She was by far the runaway fan favorite female fighter. 275 points. Was 174 points higher than her nearest competitor, Valentina Shevchenko, who had the score of 101 points. She's technically in 39th place. Yeah, and with the women's division recently getting upset of the year and fight of the year status, I would be really surprised seeing women get more recognized in this post-Ronda Rousey world. Fighting at heavyweight schools, Rose is the lightest fan favorite. Mark Hunt has fought at the heaviest. Now, fan favorites based on region. This is interesting and great. Really shows the diversity that MMA provides, and at the end, we all bleed red. Now, I made sure to include the African fighters. I expect this to change. With champions like Israel Adesanya, Francis Ngannou, and Kamaru Usman bringing eyes to the motherland, more people can see and appreciate the craft that these fighters from these regions can produce if nurtured. MMA is a really new sport, and if this is the diversity we can get this early in the sport's life, then it will be really great to see what the landscape will be years on. Well, we made it to the end of the video. Thanks for making it this far. I like wondering what will be like years from now in regards to fan favorites, because who knows? The next Jose Aldo may walk into the gym for the first time today. I'll resubmit this survey in a few years. We'll see who's the people's fan favorite then. Let's see what changes. I like tracking stuff like this. Share this video around. More eyes that get eye on this, the more participation I get on the next one. Time to get this historical data going. Thanks again for the Tapology community for submitting the rankings. Get it? Submitting the rankings, huh? I appreciate the overwhelming support and discussion had. You guys have a good night, fight fans. Be safe.
Pride Fighting Championship.